Hey YouTube, what's going on, and welcome back to Klarus Things. Today we're going to be looking at this ultra thin flashlight from Klarus, the E5 Plus. Let's get into it. I'll quickly show you guys the box and what comes in it. Alright, so there's our box. Let's open it up real quick. Comes with a manual and a USB A to C charging cable. So really simple box in here, and that's it. Let's get going with size here. So first we'll look at the dimensions on the side of the screen. And while we're taking a look at that, let's look at some size comparisons. I have another Klarus flat flashlight that I've reviewed here. This is the Flat Tack X1E. So let's take a look here. You'll see that it's significantly shorter than that. And then you can see here on how thick these are. This isn't a super thick flashlight either. Like, this is very thin, this Flat Tack. I mean, heck, it's called a Flat Tack. But look at this new one here, this E5 Plus. It is so ultra thin. This thing is tiny. You can barely even fit buttons on the side. It's so thin. Let's look at one more flat flashlight here. I just got this one in. This is the Nitecore EDC29. So it's going to be shorter than that. Significantly thinner. If you're interested in this Nitecore EDC29, I'll probably have the review video out here in the next week or two, so take a look out for that. But that's the size on the Klarus E5 Plus. Very, very thin and easily pocketable. For the battery and charging, we're looking at a 500 milliamp built-in battery, and it also has USB-C recharging. It opens from the bottom here. However, there is no pull-up tab. So you really have to pick at it with your fingernail to even get it up. And I'm having a hard time getting it up right now. I've had to get it back out with a knife before. There we go. So you can see they really should have added a pull-up tab on that USB-C flap. But there's our charging port underneath. Let's look at the design of this flashlight starting from the tail. We do have a very thin magnet here on the back. However, because this flashlight's so lightweight, it really does not even need to be a strong magnet. So you can see it sticks on there. And it's fairly weak magnet, but because this thing's so lightweight, it's not going anywhere. On the body, you see that we have no real grip here. It's just very slim. It's very sleek. That's just the overall design of it. They went with as little as possible to keep this as minimal as possible. We do have rubber buttons here. So you got the rubber USB-C flap and then two rubber buttons here on this opposite side. They're fairly small to be able to fit on this very thin side here, but you'll see that we have a top and a bottom button there, which we'll get into here in just a bit. We have the large 90-degree LED here on the side, and then we have a much smaller LED here on the top for the out the front lighting. We do have a clip. It is positioned a little bit further down in the way that it's screwed in, so it's nice that it's screwed in, but you are going to have about that much of the flashlight that sticks out of your pocket. Now, as far as performance, let's go ahead and look at those numbers up on the side of the screen. And let's take a look at the user interface here. So this is where it really stands out from the competition. There are a number of other flashlights that are similar to this. I think there's a Nebo and a couple other brands. And of course, there's the original Klarus E5. The thing about all those is they use a single button to cycle between their different light modes. This uses two buttons, which I really like. So the top button is going to control your top light. The bottom button is going to control your bottom light. So clicking is going to do nothing, so this is going to be a hold on, hold off. So let's go ahead and hold the bottom to turn that on. So we just turned on the 90-degree light. And then you simply just click through. So we've got four modes there. You've got your ultra low, low, medium, and high. Hold to turn it off. Then hold to turn the top one on. You've got low and high, and it cycles between those two. So you hold to turn on, hold to turn off, and you click to cycle through your modes. So 4 modes on the 90-degree, 2 modes on the out the front. We also have a red light They can be accessed through double clicking this bottom button here. You can hold to turn that off, and while you're in it, if you click it, you can switch it to a flashing red light if that's your style as well, or you can click to go back into your steady red light. So I think the first one had like almost like a police light or something, flashing blue and red. Much happier to see just the steady red and flashing red on this. I think that's much more usable. Another thing to note is the side light is a warm light, and then the top is going to be a cool light. Either way though, both are extremely floody. In comparison with the first generation Klarus E5, and then also its competitors that have a similar design in this, with this E5 Plus you're going to get more lumens, you're going to get the dual switches like we already talked about, you're going to get the white plus the red light, and you're going to get a bigger battery. Now, let's go ahead and take it outside and look at some beam shots. Final thoughts on this Klarus E5, super slim. This is really actually convenient when you're looking for something just so lightweight and easy to carry around. I think that this is great for people that are doing backpacking, great for mechanics. One thing I will say is that since both lights are pretty much all flood, and this is going to be something you're using either indoors or up close, this is definitely not a long range flashlight whatsoever. I love having the out the front plus the 90 degree. That's awesome. And I love having two different color temps you can choose from. I think that it's great that it's got a magnet on the back. And overall, it's very useful for people. And especially considering for the price. So I think at normal price, it runs around $25. At the time of me filming this right now, it's currently on sale for $17. I'll include a link in the description. Comes in black, comes in orange, comes in green, and comes in gray. Thanks so much for watching. Have a great week.